PGA Tour champion held its first major of the season at the Regions Tradition in Birmingham, Alabama. It was a 72-hole stroke play tournament with a $2.2 million purse. Purses for regular Tour champions events are $2 million. So what's the big deal about calling the Traditions a major? The Champions Tour has grown significantly since that first Legends of Golf event held in 1978. But in recent years, with a lack of big names to bring fans to the tour, it has suffered to gain traction. The field at the Tradition was comprised of the usual suspects: John Daly, Fred Funk, Jay Haas, Lee Janzen, Jeff Maggard, Scott McCarron, David Toms, Colin Montgomery, Rocco Mediate, Vijay Singh, Jim Kelly, Steve Stricker, and Bernhard Langer. These are all good guys and great players, but they do not bring the excitement factor or inspire the casual golf fan to set his DVR and make sure he doesn't miss a minute of the tournament. Is the Champions Tour still a viable product? The full tour began in 1980 and now consists of 28 events that will pay out a total of around $60 million in prize money. That is certainly a significant number. Most events are $2 million more or less in total prize money, with around $250,000 going to the winner. That's nice, but it's not anywhere near the $1 million first place checks cashed on the regular tour. The Senior U.S. Open offers the largest total purse on the Champions Tour of $4 million. The Senior PGA offers $3 million. The Champions Tour officially has 5 major championships, but in reality, only 3 should be considered majors. The Senior PGA, Senior U.S. Open, and Senior British Open Championship are true majors and are worth the price of admission. There are also 72-hole events that have a qualifying structure and can be entered by more than just the same old 90 or 100 guys that we see on the Champions Tour every week. The practice of holding consecutive majors with the Tradition this week and the Senior PGA next week also waters down the product. There can be no build-up, just back-to-back tournaments. Most of the weekly events on the Champions Tour are 54-hole no-cut invitationals, which allows the same players to be in the field week after week. The Champions Tour is the most difficult tour to earn a spot on unless you are a former PGA Tour winner or major champion. The Champions Tour has become too big for the PGA Tour to simply disregard and not big enough or prosperous enough to take it too seriously. David Toms, Steve Stricker, Jerry Kelly, Scott McCarron, and a few others are still viable golfers, but are not household names that will draw a wider audience to the television or through the gates. They are in desperate need of a big name to compete and win consistently on the Champions Tour. Phil Mickelson is only 3 years away from turning 50. He's still competitive on the regular tour and seems to love to compete with the younger guys. Will he want to join the older set, at least for the majors? He could seriously win every major on the Champions Tour easily. Would that get golf fans excited about the Champions Tour? It probably wouldn't hurt, that's for sure. As for Tiger Woods, well, he turns 50 in 7 years. I really don't see him competing very often on the Champions Tour. I think he will feel it is beneath his stature, somewhat like Jack Nicklaus did. Casual golf fans really don't watch the Champions Tour. It was a curiosity back when it originally began, and Lee Trevino, Chichi Rodriguez, Sam Snead, and a few others kept fans entertained. But the current guys that play the Champions Tour are the grinders and second-tier players that are just trying to keep competing and growing their retirement pension. The quality of golf is very good. There are familiar names, but they lack the big star to draw the fans in. If, in a few years, Phil and Tiger decide to pump up the tour and compete on a regular basis, that will certainly be interesting to see what that could bring to the Champions Tour. Adding a 5th major, and that really isn't a major, is not the answer. This week feels like any other on the Champions Tour to me. I will watch some of it, but I am not excited to see a tradition's champion crowned on Sunday. Plus, holding a major championship on consecutive weeks does not bode well for the tour. It does not allow sufficient time to promote and build excitement for each major championship. I truly think the major tournament thing is overdone. If I were the Commissioner Jay Monahan for a day, I would cut the majors back to 3. I would add a couple more 2-man team events, maybe with blind draws. I would also pair up the Champions Tour with the LPGA for at least one event. But I think, most importantly, the Champions Tour needs new blood. I would also add 5 events that would include 20 players from a qualifying tournament. If you could get a couple of those qualifiers into the winner's circle, that would stimulate new interest and give everyone a new appreciation of the Champions Tour.
Carlos Torres and Fred Altvader bring you the best golf news and information every week on the Back Nine Report. They cover anything and everything golf, from the professional tours to the major events. They also cover parts of golf that other shows don't and give their unique perspective and insight on current golf topics. Listen to Back Nine Report live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Blog Talk or download it anytime on TuneIn.
The other day I read an article that listed some important numbers in golf. Junior golf grew by 20% in 2017, which relates to about 500,000 kids taking up the game. To me, this is one of the most exciting numbers in all of golf. Forget the distance the ball is flying or the newest driver or technological advancement. The future of golf depends on attracting kids to the game. This tells me we are doing something right. There are over 2,300 alternative golf facilities, like practice ranges, miniature golf, and indoor centers, including 1,019 miniature golf facilities and 1,304 driving ranges. Top golf facilities alone generate $1.131 billion in total revenue. That number is up over 10% from 2011. Most of it, of course, is due to Top Golf, but at least it is a positive number to be aware of. The average amount spent on capital investment for golf facilities increased over 30% since 2011. There are 1.89 million jobs supported by the golf industry, plus the number of golfers who played for the first time in 2016 was 2.5 million. That's up from 1.5 million in 2011, a full 66% increase. There are a total of 24 million golfers in this country. Of those, 5.8 million were women and 4.6 million were non-white. There was $210 million spent on new golf course construction in 2016. Now that's down from the $516 million from 2011, way down from a high of $5.6 billion in 2000, but it's still good news. Another $1.9 billion was spent on updating existing facilities. $3.94 billion is raised for charitable causes in golf-related tournaments and other activities every year. A total of $6 billion was spent on sales of golf equipment, apparel, and supplies. Almost $26 billion was spent on golf-related tourism in the U.S. in 2016, and a total for the entire golf industry was $191.9 billion. Golf has definitely gone through some exciting changes since 2011, but it is thriving and growing in new and exciting ways. What are you waiting for? Join the in crowd and visit a golf facility in your area today. We had a chance to visit a few great golf resorts over the past couple of months, and we filmed a few videos for Back Nine Report. Myrtle Beach, Reynolds Lake Oconee, Sand Valley, and Destination Kohler were all fantastic stops on our golfing journey. Check out the videos on the travel scroll here on Back Nine Report TV. Well, Golfaholics, that wraps up another edition of Back Nine Report TV. We hope you enjoyed our show today, and we'll tell your friends to download it on their Roku app. You can also catch us on Back Nine Report Radio on Blog Talk and TuneIn. Plus, every month we publish the Ohio Golf Journal and the Michigan Golf Journal, with news of interest to golfaholics everywhere. I'll see you on the Back Nine.